Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to the Dear Love Podcast. You can catch us at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Listen Notes, Google Music, Podbean, all that good stuff. You already know how this go. Let's get right into it. When you're in a relationship, I should say, or something going towards a relationship, what's the key factors that you look for to see if it's something worth your time? Because I know a lot of times when I was growing up, I was into like crazy stuff. All right. So I wouldn't always look for the right things in a female. It was kind of like, oh, if they got a butt, or oh, if they got this, they great. And then you learn the hard way, like that don't really matter if they had those things. It's kind of like the personality thing. I used to think that was so whack. Like people say, oh, it's the heart that counts. It's like, yeah, who cares? Long as they look good. Because I was a main person that'll watch people be with certain people. And I used to judge heavy. I'm glad I'm over that stage now. And I used to judge people like, oh, man, like she bad. She this and that. Why she with that guy? And now I know why. You know, it's about the personality. It's about what they bring to the table. It ain't always about the looks. And I respect the women and I respect the men who go for the person that they really care about and really care for, other than just the looks. Because I really thought that's all it was about, just the outside. Because back in the MySpace days, I remember a female said, well, if you don't got no car, then we ain't gonna talk. It's like, well, I got my own spot. That don't mean nothing. So it's really about, to me, the person's intellect. How do they think? Are they good problem solvers? You got to be a good problem solver. I mean, because honestly, we've seen enough movies where the guy meets a woman and she's dingy as hell, or the woman meets a guy and he, got the coldest body, but he don't have any brains. So then you just use them for his body, really. But anyway, meeting somebody, how can you tell that the expectations are there? A few key things you should always look for. Like I mentioned, the brains, the intellect of how a person should conduct themselves. How should they move? Another thing I look for, it used to be age, but age don't really matter anymore. To me, it just depends on how they handle business. And it's like a full circle. Business is so important in today's society, especially with meeting someone and getting with someone. Not saying everybody, well, I think everybody could be entrepreneurs, but not even saying like owning your own business type stuff. It's just how do they handle everyday situations. So being with somebody is like giving them an application to fill out for you. You're the job, and are they up for it? And not only that, you have to be able to put a little bit of trust into people. And if you get hurt, you get hurt. I mean, it just is what it is. If you live life the whole time just saying what if, or I'm not going to trust this person, it's going to always fall apart. So definitely want to give him that application. Hey, you never know. It might turn out pretty good for you. Dear Love, episode 61. As crazy as it sounds, you also kind of got to consider how you met the person. Now, if you met them through a credible source, which is like a best friend, a cousin, well, hell, you can't even really count cousins anymore. But if you met them through somebody you kick it with on a daily, and they have your best interest, then roll with it. Now, if you met them through a friend, that's somebody's cousin, that's somebody's uncle, your best bet is to kind of like check out the situation first. A lot of people meet through social media now. I mean, let's just keep it honest. It's like the new way of meeting. Different platforms, you talk to people. Hell, there's nothing wrong with it because some of the situations turn out well. But for the most part, it got people away from having social skills. It's funny how social media could take away from social skills, because then you forget how to talk to people. So we get into that world of typing. And that's a funny thing, because how do you introduce yourself through a text message? Because growing up, again, it was always like you getting the number from somebody. So now you've met you've met the friend, or you know the friend that introduced y'all. And really all you going off of is a name. So then you say, hey, my name is Teray. And what do you text though? What do you say? Without it sounding weird. Because remember, she or he, they don't know you. They don't know the way you move. They don't know how you act. So they can actually take a text message the wrong way. But what do you text? What are some things that you should say? The first thing you would have to say, I'm guessing, is, hey, this is such and such. But now I feel like that's more important in today's society than talking to them in person, because it's like, hey, I put it out there. I broke the ice. I told them that, hey, this is my name. So now they have my number. So how long do you wait before you send another text message? Or do you send one at all? Maybe, just maybe, you got the wrong number. One of the digits is off. So it's so many things you take into effect when you get someone's number. Because there's times I got someone's number, I text and never got a response. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe they didn't really want me to talk to them. So you text your name, you text who you are, and now you're waiting on a response. Let's say you finally get one and they say, oh, hey. To me, that sounds like they're not interested. And the only reason I say that is because I would think the proper response would be something like, oh, hey, this is Cassandra, or oh, hey, this is whatever their name is, instead of them just saying, oh, hey. Because now that they've said, oh, hey, how do you respond? Do you say, what you doing? Or, so what's up? I mean, like, honestly, where do you go? Because remember, they don't know you. You don't know them. I mean, do you start off by saying, so what's your favorite color? I mean, it's really weird. You got to kind of feed off of each other. And that's how you can kind of tell if they really trying to deal with you. So again, if they tell you their name, I'm guessing the next thing would be, I mean, you don't have to ask, are you single? I would guess that they're in some situation that's not really working out, or maybe they just want a friend, or however. But those things should be established within those first couple text messages. Don't wait till y'all done text your favorite color, your dog's name, where you went to school, all this stuff, for them to come around and say, hey, look, I'm not really looking for nobody. And then you just sitting there stuck. So you want to get that out the way early. I need to find out where we stand. One key ingredient would be, I would have to ask, living arrangements, things like that. I'm so sick of hearing, oh yeah, well, that's just my baby daddy. He stay in the other room and he pay rent, so we share the place. But you cool though. You know what I'm saying? You could come on through. Like, that sounds so crazy to me. Being honest is so important when you texting people. Just let people know what's going on. Again, you're texting it. It's not like you got to say it to their face and they going to cuss you out. If they don't like it, the worst that can happen is they stop texting you. But then there's things like late night messages, which really, to me, makes your text relationship, or the thing that turns this into a real relationship, is those late night texts. Are you available? Can they talk to you? Can we call? Can I FaceTime you? Can I video call you? These are the things that usually happen on the late nights. Some people be busy, don't get me wrong, but is there a limit, or is there, I should say, a time limit to when I can text you? If it is, and remember, I don't know you at all, that's something to think about. Especially if you say you live with baby mama, or you live with baby daddy, or whatever the case is. So now you're unreachable. What do you do next? How do you know this person is the one for you? And once you get past the texting stage, where do you go from there? It's so much easier nowadays to love each other through text. because text messages don't hold any punches. You give it to them straight. You can't really BS around a text message without someone noticing. So if I say, "Hey, can we link up?" and you say, I don't know. BS. Like you really sat back. You took the time to text, I don't know. That means you're not that serious. When people care, they say, "Hey, can I see you? Let's set up a date. When are you free?" Things like that. And then y'all collab on the time to get free. I've heard so many like friends say stuff around that. Just, "Oh yeah, okay, we gonna try to link this day." And then let's say you get past the text message part. How long does it take to go on a date? How long does it take to link up before somebody says, "You know what? This is not gonna work"? I give it 2 weeks. If y'all can't make anything, unless it's like a dire situation, if y'all can't make anything happen in 2 weeks, forget it. Now, if y'all seeing each other or y'all meeting up, but it's just no time to really break away and kick it, things like that, I know how it is. People have kids, things like that. But if it takes 2 weeks and this person so-called has a car, live by whatever the situation is, if it takes 2 weeks for y'all to do anything, I really don't care what the situation is. 2 weeks is 14 days. If we're so-called, quote unquote, talking or trying to get to know each other, and I can't see you after 14 days, the interest level is gone. I mean, the peak is so high when you first meet. You guys are texting, y'all loving each other. But you have to have something to feed that hunger. So if I can't see you after 14 days, that's a paycheck. Look, you know how people get paid every 2 weeks? That's paycheck time. If I can't see you going into my next paycheck, it has to be something going on. So how do you know that person is for you? Do you guys like the same things? And please, 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 hold up. Do not go off of zodiac signs. I hear so many, "Oh, what's your sign?" Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Is that really that serious to women? I never hear men asking, "What's your sign?" It's always the woman saying, "What's your sign?" Because I've never been into the signs, and I can't tell you what none of them mean. I just don't know. So let's throw the sign thing out the way. It's about, again, collabing, getting together, figuring out a plan, and seeing what you're going to do. Again, give them 2 weeks. Put them on 2-week notice. If y'all can't make it happen, they need to roll. Dear love, T. Shaw, I'm out of here.